Hackers turned your AI gateway into a credential vacuum, a new layout engine is making DOM reads obsolete, GitHub Actions finally learned what time zone you live in, and someone built a 3D pixel art city out of your commit history. All that and more on this episode of The Download. Welcome back to another episode of The Download, the show where we cover the latest developer news and open source projects. I'm Kadesha, developer advocate here at GitHub. Let's get into it. Software engineer Cheng Lu has released Pretext, a high-performance layout engine that's here to make your browser stop struggling during complex layout tasks. The big idea? Stop reading from the DOM so much. Pretext predicts text height and routes lines without those expensive hot path DOM reads that's been slowing us all down. The demos are genuinely impressive. We're talking accordion height prediction, masonry grids, obstacle-aware title routing, particle-driven ASCII art, and continuous flow and fixed height spread. If you've ever watched a browser get stuck on complex layout and thought there has to be a better way, Cheng Lu thought so too and apparently built the better way. Keep an eye on this one. Okay, so this one is not a drill. On March 24th, 2026, the LiteLLM Python package suffered a serious supply chain attack courtesy of a group called Team PCP. Attackers poisoned Trivi's GitHub action to harvest credentials from LiteLLM CI/CD pipeline, then used those credentials to push a backdoored version of PyPy. The payload? A sneaky .pth file that fired up on every Python interpreter startup, triggering a fork bomb and malware execution. If that wasn't enough, it was also designed to steal system metadata, cloud credentials, and Kubernetes secrets. The malware was only discovered when it maxed out CPUs after being loaded via a cursor launch MCP server. Your AI coding assistant was the delivery mechanism. Pin your dependencies, use lock files with checksum, and consider remote MCP architectures to reduce local attack surfaces. Stay safe out there, folks. The supply chain is not always your friend. OpenAI announced its intent to acquire Astral, the beloved team behind UV, the blazing fast Python package manager, and Rough, the linter that made Python devs actually enjoy linting. The plan? Plug Astral's engineering talent into the Codex ecosystem to build AI agents capable of handling the entire software development lifecycle, from planning all the way through maintenance. OpenAI also promised to continue supporting Astral's open source projects, which is the answer every developer was nervously waiting to hear. Whether this means your UV workflow gets an AI copilot or your Rough config starts writing itself, the Python tooling world just got a very interesting new neighbor. Raise your hand if you've ever done mental UTC math at 11 p.m. trying to figure out why your cron job fired at the wrong time. GitHub heard us. GitHub Actions added native time zone support for scheduled workflows. You can now drop an IANA time zone right in your YAML, something like time zone, America/New York, right along your cron expression. No more manual UTC offset calculations. You'll now have scheduled workflows that actually run when you expect them. As agentic AI systems become more prevalent, the big question is, how do you know your AI agent isn't just confidently making things up? Solo.io has an answer, Agentevals, a new open source project built to improve the reliability of agentic AI systems. The tool uses OpenTelemetry to trace agent reasoning loops and then scores them against golden datasets to catch hallucinations or drift before they become production problems. Think of it as a fact checker for your AI coworkers. As a bonus, Solo.io is also contributing its agent registry project to the CNCF to help build community standards for AI agent governance. Responsible AI tooling getting the open source, community-driven treatment it deserves? That's a headline worth celebrating. And finally, because not everything in tech has to be serious, Git City is an open source project that turns your GitHub profile into a 3D pixel art city. And yes, it's exactly as wonderful as it sounds. Here's how your digital real estate is valued. Building height equal your contribution count, building width equals repository count, window brightness equals your GitHub stars. Built with Next.js 15, 3JS via React 3 Fiber, and Supabase, the project includes a flight mode to explore your city, achievement systems, and even and profile comparison tools, because nothing says healthy developer competition like flying through a 3D city made of your commit history. It's the kind of project that makes you want to merge a PR just to make your buildings a little taller. And that's a wrap on this week's dev news. Stay curious, pin your dependencies, and may your builds always be green. See you next time.